All right, so sorry about that. After making fun of Randy, my computer took a shit, so that sucks. But we are back. We are done talking Thrive, I guess. I think that was my computer's way of saying don't play the touchdown contest, dumbass. Um,
That's what it was? You
yes,
sure?
oh, sure, yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit of DraftKings. I know last week we went through our smashes and our values. Um, but this week there are a lot more guys that we'd be willing to put in our lineup at the top end. So we have two smash graphics ready for you, and we're going to talk about all of these guys and hopefully make a lineup with mostly these guys, and then get to some values and then make our lineup as usual. Um, so let's get into it. So this first graphic has Dak Prescott, Miles Sanders, DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, and Jonnu Smith. All fairly affordable this week. I know Dak is the second highest priced quarterback. DeAndre Hopkins is the highest priced wide receiver, and with good reason. Christian Kirk is out already, so DeAndre Hopkins is just going to be hyper targeted. Dak, we talked about him a little bit. If we think that he's going to go over that 2.5 line for Thrive, I'd be comfortable putting him into my DraftKings lineup as well. Randy, do you want to talk about Miles Sanders a little bit? I know you added him to the list initially.
Yeah, I added him initially. They're facing the Bengals, who, I mean, let's be honest, couldn't stop anything going on with the Browns running game on Thursday. I do understand Eagles' offensive line's a little banged up. Eagles honestly haven't looked as good as the Browns did Thursday. Like, it's kind of hurts. I'm sure that hurts to
Agreed.
hear, but they do need to get this going back in the right direction. I think there might be more points than people are going to assume here. I have Burrow as my star of the week for a good reason. I think it's going to happen on the other side with Sanders, who clearly won't be game scripted out. He's on the field for so much last week. I think he's a good start for this week. I think he's a good smash, even if they're down or even if they have to throw the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Sanders in this matchup. I know the two defensive tackles, Geno Atkins, and who's the other freaking guy for the Bengals that I forgot his name last week too.
DJ Reader?
No, that's who I thought it was, and it's not.
Mm,
Um, but either way, they're missing their top two defensive tackles. So even if the Eagles line is a little bit banged up, I think Miles Sanders is going to have his way. We talked about Dak and DeAndre, Calvin Ridley. Obviously, uh, again, we talked about him on the Thrive graphic. If we think he's scoring a touchdown this week, add in the volume that he should see with Julio's injury, which, again, he's still questionable, still, I believe, a game time decision. But either way, Calvin Ridley's been fine even with Julio on the field. So that's a smash play for me. And then Jonnu Smith. I mean, come on, Jonnu season. Hashtag Jonnu season. So
yeah, he's one of the best tight ends in the slate. I'm not paying up for anyone except him. Obviously, Mark Andrews, Kelsey are not on the slate because they played Monday night. Kittle's still out with an injury, so it leaves out a lot of the top tier. I know there's like Ertz, and Goddard's pretty high up too, but I like John, especially with it looking like AJ Brown's out. I can't remember if he's fully out yet or not, so I'd rather play him. Other guys around here that we like, obviously Russell Wilson, because if we like Dak, we like Russ. Same,
yep.
it's because it's that game. Uh, and then um, DK Metcalf to pair with him. Obviously, you could pivot with Lockett, but Metcalf is the target leader, right? Yes, last week, and he's getting all the big plays. I'd rather take the guy that has a higher touchdown upside because of that. Uh, James Conner in a good game script, he should be able to dominate this week. Even with Benny Snell in there, it didn't matter. He kept it going all last week. And then Noah Fant, obviously, strange. Me and Christian are doing the show, and it's our A1 tight ends, but they're great. We're both right. which we both knew was going to happen. We both knew they would be the value tight ends that broke out this year. And then one other quarterback, if you want, I know he's going to be like the chalkiest of the week, but Kyler Murray was going to have a great game.
Yeah.
If you want to pair him with DeAndre, that's smart.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something I think. What was our stack last week?
Oh boy. Oh, Big Ben and Deontay.
Yes, which actually wasn't a terrible stack. Ben
No.
underperformed a little bit for what we needed, but
Yeah.
Deontay was good at least.
No. Yeah, he was good. I mean, we had a good lineup last week. It's just we knew we didn't love any of the stacks with the guys that we really love, unlike this week. So it should be a lot better for us.
Yeah. And now with those guys off the market here, let's talk about some values. So feels a little gross, but I'll go through my values. Mitchell Trubisky at 5,700. We talked about how the Falcons secondary is beat up or just bad at football. But the Bears are gonna have to keep up with the Falcons offense because the Falcons offense is a lot better. I think my start of the week, Anthony Miller from week 2, has a chance to really bounce back this week. And if not, Darnell Mooney, Allen Robinson, like they have weapons, and I think Trubisky's going to get it done. I would probably start Mitchell Trubisky in like redraft and season long over a lot of guys this week.
That's good to hear. I'm pretty positive in a super flex. I had somebody Drew Lock and Trubisky, so I am very happy to hear that.
Yeah, I think it's a good matchup. And then my start of the week on Thursday's episode, Joshua Kelly. Listen, if there's a matchup to exploit, it's the Panthers. Joshua Kelly at 5,000 is just absurd value. He might outproduce Austin Eckler, who I think is the 3rd running back this week.
He's up there.
Yeah, value-wise. So, yeah, Joshua Kelly, I've found a way to get him into almost every one of my lineups, even with the higher end guys being fairly priced. I still find a way to at least flex Kelly if I need. And then KJ Hamler at 3,000, with Jerry Jeudy being a game time decision. This is a guy that, like, if you need to free up some space, some money, KJ Hamler in your flex is a decent play. He needs I think 75 or 7.5 points to really get you that value. I think that's almost guaranteed if Judy's out. If Judy does play, I'm still okay with it. I mean, KJ Hamler should be the second leading, third leading target hog this week for Jeff Dump Truck Driscoll.
Yeah, obviously that goes along with one of my smashes and there's just no one to throw to, and Driscoll's not a bad quarterback, so I'm not really scared.
He throws for a lot of air yards, which makes me really like KJ Hamler this week.
And he runs.
Very true. And then my tight end value, there's a lot of tight end values this week, but I went with Drew Sample. I know it's a little risky not knowing kind of what's going to come of this offense, but I mean CJ Uzama was productive. You have to assume that Drew Sample can do that. He kind of showed that after Uzama went out for the season during the game last week. I think Sample will be a fine play, and like same thing with KJ Hamler. If you need to free up some salary, just put Drew Sample in, close your eyes, and hope for the best. That's what I do every week. Is I just put players in and close my eyes and hope for the best.
I mean, the way you gotta look at with value tight ends, if they get in the end zone, they hit.
Yep.
They hit big. It's crazy. But that's kind of the world we live in right now.
Yeah.
So
and add in the volume that Sample could potentially see based on what we saw in his limited time last week. I mean, he might be a tight end 1 this week. Just crazy.
Could be.
Yes. All right. Now Randy's turn to talk about values.
Oh, thank God. All right. Well, my quarterback was actually my start of the week, so fun going back to the show. Joe Burrow, like I said, Sanders should be able to kill all game. I also think Joe Burrow and that company of receivers, which he kind of just throws to whoever's open. He does kind of force it to AJ Green a bit, but I don't mind that obviously because AJ Green's a big play guy. Um, Drew Sample should get involved. Mixon, I don't know if he'll touch the ball because Gio Bernard's out there and passing downs more than him.
And goal line
So
work.
either way, and, well, sometimes I'd rather just take the sure thing of Burrow, a guy that I think is going to get 2+ touchdowns this week. I don't think he's throwing 65 times, but 50, I think so. I'll take
Probably.
50 from a cheap quarterback. He's not ultra cheap, but he's just above like Trubisky, and I know. Oh God, why am I blanking on it now? Jeff Driscoll is like 5,700.
Yep.
I mean, obviously Darnold and Haskins are way down there, and if you want to play them, more power to you. I'm really hoping Darnold can do something, but he's going to be thrown to a tight end for his wide receiver one. It seems like, so we'll see on that.
Ryan Griffin,
Moving
not even Chris Herndon.
moving on to running back, Jerick McKinnon. He just has a big opportunity this week. It's a game with a backup quarterback. I get it, but it's a game with Kittle out as well. The wide receiver group's been banged up all year as it is. I think McKinnon, as we've seen all year, is going to do great in the passing game. I think he's going to get a lot of work in the running game as well. I do know Jeff Wilson will get some work, and Jeff Wilson might even get all the goal line work. I'm not going to lie to you here. But McKinnon with the passing work in a PPR system like DraftKings is kind of too good to pass up at this price range. So, CD Lamb wide receiver. I don't hate if you do Gallup to pivot, but the Seahawks are just constantly letting slot receivers kill them. They don't care about the position. Their starting slot corner is out for the whole year. So I'm gonna feed CeeDee Lamb just like Dak will. I think he's the perfect stack with Dak this week because you get away from paying too much for Cooper, and I do think he might be a little bit more chalky than Gallup. But as I say that, a lot of people have said that, so it might be moving back to about even now. So I'm fine with taking CD and taking the 6 to 10 catches with the touchdown upside and over 100 yards. Logan Thomas is getting targeted as much as the elite tight ends. I'm going to take that every week. I've been disappointed before. I get it. But with that kind of target share, if he can just catch 50% of the balls, and maybe if this team can get somewhere near the end zone, he is going to be incredible for them. So I have high hopes for Logan Thomas this week. He was my start of the week as well. They're all value, so I'm throwing it back at you.
Yeah. So I love these picks. Obviously, even as much as I like Gallup this week, I like CD as well. Like I talked about with Dak, I mean, they're gonna have to throw the ball. They're gonna have to keep up with the Seahawks passing offense, which is the weirdest sentence to say. It's very 2020 to have to say keep up with the Seahawks passing offense. But moving on, let's try to make a lineup out of these players. So I'm gonna pull it up. We're not gonna lock any of these in because ain't nobody getting sued tonight. All right. So in terms of, let's start with quarterback. I kind of want to just take Russ and call it. What do you think?
What was that? Sorry.
I want to just take Russell Wilson and call it a day.
I'm not mad at it. He's the highest QB on the slate, but as long as we're stacking him with one of the guys, I'm cool with it. Honestly, any of the three smashes at quarterback, I'd be fine with this week.
Sweet.
Because you literally have you can still get their pair up guy in your lineup because there's a lot of cheap guys this week, so I'm fine with it.
Yes. So I guess you said as long as we're stacking, do you want to put DK right in the lineup and then go from there?
Yes, I do.
Sweet. Sounds good to me. All right.
Sweet.
So 2 down, not locked in, but 2 down.
Never. We would never lock it in like that.
All right.
You don't know what lock in means.
I guess Austin Eckler is priced a little lower this week. 6,800. It's a decent range for him. Who do you want our RB1 to be? This is all you.
So This is all me. That's rude, actually. I do like Sanders. Other guys I like at this kind of price range. David Montgomery's a little bit cheaper. Kenny Drake, Kareem Hunt. Um, but my smash of the week, James Conner is a good play, and Jonathan Taylor, even Nick Chubb if you feel like it. So, if there's any of those that really jump out to you, I know we're kind of betting on Jonathan Taylor somewhere else. Maybe you want some diversity. I don't really care. I believe in the kid, so
Yeah, I I would love to. You mentioned Kenyon Drake. That's a guy we probably should have talked about a little bit more as a smash play this week, going up against Detroit, and
so
the fact that he tweeted out that he was like apologizing to his fantasy managers, people who have him on their teams, uh, telling them to drop him so someone else can get blessed. I think Kenyon Drake knows that he's gonna have a big game this week. It's a guy I wouldn't mind playing, but let's start with James Conner and Miles Sanders.
okay, that's fine with me. Uh, Definitely not straying away with from our advice from earlier, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Honestly, man, if I'm hitting the Arizona Cardinals and I'm not taking Kyler, I just want Hopkins. I don't want anyone else. Kenyon Drake is a really good running back, but they're passing at an alarming rate, and it's not to the running backs.
yeah,
It could be this week with people hurt, but I just haven't seen it.
yes. So you know me, I'm starting to get nervous. Let's go to defense.
Oh, you're such a
I
wuss.
am. I am. It's actually not looking
Okay,
too bad. 46-20 left per player.
yeah, yeah. So top end defenses that are great this week. The Colts, obviously going up against a third of the Jets, who are basically a third of a team as it is. Uh, the Steelers go up against Houston. Deshaun Watson's incredible, but the Steelers defense is legit. The banged up Browns against Washington isn't awful. Buccaneers against Denver isn't awful. But if we want to go down to like the cheaper ones, um, honestly, I mean, what are you looking at cheap? Because for me, it'd be like the Eagles, maybe even playing that back with the Bengals.
Yes.
If you want to take shots on both sides of that kind of. Um, Man, that's kind of about it. Because
It's all very oof down here.
we could do the Jets, but they could get fleeced here. But even at a fleece, we've seen it. Rivers could throw two picks against the worst teams, so it's not terrible. I think I'd want the Eagles personally, but I'm fine with the Bengals as well. The only thing is the Bengals haven't done anything. I'm not sure if this is better offense, whereas like the Eagles haven't really done much either, but they haven't been negative.
Yeah. Well, so my justification, I have the Bengals in a lot of my lineups. My justification for it is, I mean, do we know that Carson Wentz is gonna bounce back this week? I don't I don't know. He's looked very very bad.
Yeah, but the Bengals don't have a really good pass rush to me.
No.
You know what, dude? If you want to really do this, I'm fine going the Jets.
Okay.
They scored 7 points first week, 4 points the next week. They got blown out in both. They got a pick and 3 sacks in each. I,
All right.
they're the cheapest on the slate, but they have high upside, especially against the Bengals, who, I mean, they really couldn't block the Browns, who don't have the overly impressive pass rush.
I mean, I'll full send it. I'm cool with that. Uh, all right.
They're so cheap, 2,000. I mean,
Yeah,
uh,
it's tough to pass them up, especially when they've scored.
they've scored more than the people over 1,000 more than them.
Right.
I'm just saying.
That's crazy. Um, all right, let's move back to receiver. You know, I would love to put Calvin Ridley in this lineup. I wouldn't mind putting DeAndre
And
Hopkins.
you. I was gonna say, I want one of the two.
Let's.
Because we're gonna go cheap. So wait. We went Russ, right?
Yep.
So we got to start with DK Metcalf.
Yeah,
We're starting with
I
DK
already
Metcalf.
put
I
him in
don't
there.
care.
Yeah.
I forgot to put him in. Okay.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
be better. All right. So Hopkins.
Mediocre fantasy advice.
That's
Remember,
true. Yeah.
I'm doing my best.
uh, Hopkins then. Do you want? Do you think we
Hawkinson?
Hopkins then? That did sound like
Oh,
Hawkinson.
Hopkins. Yeah, that's why I was like, what?
So do you,
Yeah, Hopkins. I'm fine with that.
okay,
We're
let
gonna get
me
into a ballsy territory, friend. So, okay, let me say we need a little bit cheaper receiver.
yes.
For me personally, that goes to Michael Gallup, Deontay Johnson, C.D. Lamb, or slightly cheaper, slightly, and by slightly I mean a lot cheaper. Now that I'm looking at it, to N'Keal Harry, who is a little banged up, I will say. But oh
He had 12 targets last week, right?
yeah, he had 8 receptions on 12 targets, I believe. Yep,
Yeah,
72 yards.
not bad.
And it's a bad Raiders sack. I mean, as much as I absolutely love watching Jonathan Abram play, that dude's a maniac. He's amazing.
Yes.
Definitely a throwback type of player, but he's the only fun part to watch on that defense because it is not good. Yeah. So
I didn't I didn't realize Deontay Johnson's only 5,400, dude.
yeah, dude, they're disrespecting my dude, man.
Yeah, that's the Steelers wide receiver one right there.
Oh, 100%. Shout out Zach Rogers for putting me on him a couple years ago. Just saying.
Yeah,
Uh,
honestly.
little inside information there.
Can we try putting Deontay in the lineup again this week?
Yeah, yep. You're not,
Don't have to
you're
convince
not
you.
gonna get any pushback here, man.
All right, what
Okay,
happens?
so that's 3,900
Okay,
a piece left. So as much as I want Janu, I think we
we have to
kind of
take a bump a little bit.
get screwed here. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, would you want to go Logan Thomas? I mean,
Hmm.
that's kind of that's a value play, but and Logan Thomas has seen. Let's see, he's seen okay DraftKings. Uh, 17 targets through 2 weeks.
Yep.
So
My only problem,
only 8 catches.
and it's just minor. No, it's minor. If we do that, we have 4,100, which is just not enough to get N'Keal Harry.
Mm, okay. What if we?
But if we did Drew Sample, we could get Hunter Renfro, or I know you love Mike Williams, but I want to see him actually, get targeted with Herbert in the game.
Yeah.
Or we could do N'Keal Harry at 42.
I don't.
Or you could be this little greedy kid that I know you are, and we could do your $3,000 guy.
We could. We still couldn't spend up and get Janu though.
So you don't know that. Do you know that for a
I
fact? Because I
do.
don't think you know that for a
I
fact.
tested it. That was the first thing I tested. All right.
Oh, you
So I'm gonna put kids,
wait. Yeah, oh yeah, we can't get John.
but we can get Hunter Henry, Hayden Hurst. Would you rather that over Logan Thomas? I mean, Hayden.
Or you mean Drew Sample? Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
or
right
Drew
now it's
Sample.
Drew Sample and Keel Harry or KJ Hamler, and that.
Hunter Henry in Herbert's start, 6 receptions, 83 yards. Didn't find the end zone, but did see a bump in. Well, he saw the same amount of targets, I guess. 8 targets in each game.
At that point I'd rather take the shot on
On Harry.
on Sample.
On Sample and Harry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because
What if we came down from Deontay a little bit?
I will. So I want to point out we could do. No, we can't. It's the same price. I thought it was different. No, I don't want to go down. The only person I would go down to is CD, who's the same price. So
Okay.
I'm not going down.
So would you rather?
The only thing, the only thing we could change is Hopkins to Ridley. That's the only thing we could change.
Okay.
That gives us 5,000, which gives us nothing. Which just gives us Joshua Kelly. I will say that.
Bro.
Or McKinnon.
Or DeAndre
Or
Swift for what it's
Singletary, who
worth.
I would. No. Just
Well, I wouldn't
no.
play Swift over Kelly. Dude, do you think the discrepancy between Kelly, or I guess Ridley and Hopkins, is going to be more than.
Do you want Ridley and Joshua Kelly,
Yes.
or do you want DeAndre Hopkins, who no matter what gets the targets, and
So does Ridley, though.
and Keel Harry?
You would rather. Would you. Well, I guess the question is, would you rather Harry or Kelly? If your answer is Harry, that's fine. But you're wrong.
Shut your
You
face.
know it, too.
Shut
Joshua
your face.
Kelly is going to be an RB1 this week.
Dude, I'll tell you what. We've tinkered enough. You're letting me have my guy Deontay. If we both go our guy Joshua Kelly, I don't hate it. I will ride with it to the end. We'll just go
I
with it.
mean, looking at this lineup, like.
I will ride with it to the end. I don't
All
need
right.
to.
I'm going to read off the lineup.
I'm good with it.
That's not locked in. All right. Russell Wilson.
Yes, never left.
Russell Wilson, James Conner, Miles Sanders, Deontay Johnson, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley, Drew Sample, Joshua Kelly, Jets defense. Like, holy hell. That's basically, we're the optimizer. We don't need an optimizer because we are the optimizer.
Yeah, people. I'm not sure how much people will be on Josh Kelly this week, but he's amazing. I know I saw somebody say that Justin Jackson returned to practice late this week, and that scares them. I was just like, why?
Well,
Because Kelly was always going to win that job.
yeah. Well, plus I think they said that he's doubtful still. Jackson.
Yeah, he's doubtful.
It wouldn't have
Even if he
mattered.
plays, he's going to get 5 or 6 touches. Kelly's still going to get the 15 plus touches, and he's the goal line back.
Yeah, I'm 100% cool with this lineup. Randy, we need to figure out right now on the live stream. Are you playing it in a money contest, or do I need to switch from the free contest that I just entered?
So did we both just enter a free contest so we had the lineup?
I think that's
so
what
we
just
could use
happened.
it in the morning. Yeah, I'm gonna play it at money, dude. I won on DraftKings alone last week. I won $80, let alone the Thrive winnings. And uh, 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 FanDuel. So
Yeah,
I am fine playing in a money contest with that. Yeah,
sweet.
I'm not gonna do the Millie Maker because I don't have that kind of money. I worked a lot today, but not enough. I'm not throwing money around like
Fair
that.
enough. All right. So that's the lineup that is not locked in. But damn, like we talked about optimizers earlier. I think they would have given us that lineup. If not, they probably would have given us something worse. Like I said, we are the optimizer. So you come here for your
No,
advice. Even though we haven't put together like a really great lineup yet this year, we've been doing the same thing where we talk about the right guys and we just
you.
it is me. It's gonna really suck when N'Keal Harry has like 15 targets this week.
Oh no. See, Christian, what you forget is I am now going to also play
The other lineup.
a lineup of the other way because you've made me this way after over a year of this bullshit with you.
Yes, that's fair enough, and I believe I will do the same thing. Just in case. So play one of those two lineups.
Or just the smashes and values that we talked about today.
Yeah, I mean any mixture of those, I think you're gonna come out nice.
Honestly, as long as you're using 3 or 4 of those guys, I think you have a great lineup. If you feel really good about someone else, play them. Be your own person. We're just here to help with little things and questions.
Yeah. All right. Before we get out of here, just a reminder: if you're watching this Sunday morning, the first half of the live stream, I believe, is gonna be on a different video because we cut out. Based on what my YouTube looks like right now. So, go watch the first half, which is about 11 minutes long, and then come back and rewatch all of this. If you've gotten this far, you probably realize that we we cut out. So you probably already started the other video. But yeah.
Smart. You're a smart person. You're better than
are.
us.
But until next time, go win some money. Randy, did we get any questions by chance? No questions. That's okay. Next week we'll have some questions, hopefully. And sorry, my TV went dark, so I just went into the abyss there. All right.
God dang it.
All right. Ask us your start sit questions. Remember to follow us at the Cut FFB on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the above. And like I said, go win some money. For Randy, I'm Christian. We'll